How come every time there is an interesting article published on the Economist website, there is somebody just in a couple of minutes after they publish it that pops up? Have you ever tried a website called Craigslist? It's one of the really old ones, one of the e-shops that actually was developed already in the early days of the internet. It's just a list, more or less the antidote to graphics and user friendly websites. But they're still around and they seem to be pretty well. Well, a reason for testing Craigslist is there actually a very important explanation to why companies like Airbnb and Uber even exist. And there's even articles written about it. It's called Unbundling Craigslist. So, what a lot of these startups did when they were pretty young was that they popped up at Craigslist. At Craigslist, you could find somebody who wants to rent a room. And then they popped up and said, maybe you want to rent this room instead. Or maybe you want to try this car service instead. And Craigslist has obviously been fairly open to that kind of possibility. And that explains why a lot of tremendously big companies started off there. Simply by piggybacking other actors' flow. And piggybacking other people's flow it's something we've done for decades. We could stand outside a restaurant, and when the customers came out, we gave them an offer for a better restaurant. And this explains a lot what we can find on the web. For instance, this one. How come every time there is an interesting article published on the Economist website, there is somebody just in a couple of minutes after they publish it that pops up with an interesting comment in the commentator field and then happen to link to their own service. And this you can find at a lot of different places nowadays, utilizing other actors' flow. Piggybacking has always been interesting.